What if you could totally transform your financial life in, say, the next 90 days? Seriously. It's not about some complex spreadsheet or a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about building a simple, powerful system. And we're going to build it together starting right now. You ever feel a bit lost with your money? Like you're just treading water? Well, you're definitely not alone. And the core issue for most of us, it isn't about being bad at math. Nope, it's something much, much simpler. This quote from financial expert Humphrey Yang just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The secret isn't being a math genius. It's just about having a plan, a roadmap. So come on, let's build one. Our journey is broken down into 3 simple 1-month phases. That's it. First, we're going to gain control. Then we build our foundation. And finally, we optimize everything for the future. Let's dive into month 1. Okay, month 1 is all about getting a handle on things. It's about diagnosis and action. See, we have to figure out exactly where our money is going before we can start telling it where to go. So, the first big mindset shift is this. Start treating your personal finances like a business. I mean it. Any successful business obsessively tracks its income and its costs, right? Well, that gap between the two, that's their profit. For us, that gap, that's our future. It all starts with a little financial audit. So your first task is to grab your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Go through them line by line, categorize every single purchase, and then figure out your average monthly spend. I promise you, this one exercise, it's an absolute game changer. Now, let's just look at a typical example. Of course, you've got the big fixed costs, things like rent and the car payment. They jump right out. But the real opportunities, they're often hidden in those smaller, sneakier expenses. Look at the amounts for eating out, shopping, Ubers. That's where we have the most control. So this brings us to the big challenge. Look at your own categories. Where can you realistically trim, say, 10 to 30%? Maybe it's not the rent, but could that $225 on Ubers or the $250 on shopping be shaved down a bit? Let's just say you find a way to trim those areas and you free up an extra $400 a month. Now, I know, it might not feel like you just won the lottery today, but the long-term impact of that is absolutely staggering. And this is the real power of consistency. That $400 a month, it becomes nearly $5,000 a year. Think about that. That's a dream vacation, a huge dent in your debt, or a serious boost to your investments, all from just a few small, consistent changes. So how do we make sure those savings actually happen without fail? Well, the final piece of month 1 is automation. It's a simple, brilliant concept called pay yourself first. You just set up automatic transfers to move money to savings the second you get paid. This is probably the single most important habit for building wealth because it takes willpower completely out of the equation. All right, let's move into month 2. Now we start to build. We're shifting from playing financial defense, cutting costs, to playing offense, where we're actively building for the future. Your first offensive play is to build a $1,000 starter emergency fund. This is not just about the money. It is a massive psychological win. Get this, a shocking 59% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 surprise bill. So by hitting this goal, you're not just building a safety net, you're buying priceless peace of mind. Okay, with that safety net secure, we can shift our focus. This quote right here is crucial. Building real wealth isn't just about saving cash. It's about buying things, assets that are designed to actually grow in value over time. So where should we put our money? Well, if you look at the historical returns, it becomes pretty clear. Over the long haul, stocks have consistently outperformed other major assets like real estate or bonds. That's where the real growth has been. So how do you tap into that growth simply and safely? For most people, the answer is something called an S&P 500 ETF. Just think of it like buying a tiny slice of the 500 biggest companies in the US, all with one single click. It's low cost, it's instantly diversified, and you can just set it and forget it, letting the market work its magic through the power of compound interest. The final part of building your foundation is getting specific. There was a study that found you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals just by writing them down. So define what you're saving for, write it down, and make it real. Okay, we are on to our final phase. Month 3 is all about optimizing the system you've built and really starting to plan for the long term. Optimization means mastering your tools, and there's no better example than the credit card. It's a tool that can go two ways. Use it wisely, pay it off in full every month, and it's a superpower for earning rewards and building credit. But if you carry a balance, that 20+% interest rate, well, it becomes a financial black hole actively working to destroy your wealth. The choice is yours. So how do you measure if you're actually winning? You track your net worth. Honestly, it is the single most important number in your financial life. The formula is simple. It's what you own minus what you owe. Is that number going up over time? If it is, your plan is working. It's the ultimate scoreboard. And finally, it is time to dream big. Set up ambitious stretch goals. What do you want to achieve in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? Having these big, long-term targets gives all your short-term actions meaning and a real purpose. And just like that, you have the complete 90-day blueprint. But remember this, a map is totally useless if you don't take the first step. The real magic isn't in this plan, it's in what you decide to do next. This quote really captures the entire spirit of our journey, doesn't it? Wealth isn't built overnight. It's built brick by brick, day by day, through consistency, discipline, and a clear vision for your future. So we'll leave you with the only question that truly matters right now. You have the map, you know the path. What is the very first small step you're going to take today to begin your journey?